What you're seeing is 6 pounds, 8 ounces of beef. 3 pounds, so it lost about half its weight. You can go out and for $15, $20 a pound, maybe $25 a pound, I can get cooked brisket at a barbecue place. It's the best brisket in the world. So why would I mess with it myself? And I gave up trying to cook brisket. But I saw a recipe a week or so ago, and I cooked this last week. I didn't videotape it the first time, because why would I videotape something the first time I'm doing it when it's easy to reproduce quickly? It's not like daffodils or something where you got to wait a year and do tests. So it worked out really well for me. So I'm going to show you what I did. Forrest Gump says life's like a box of chocolate, perfection, life's like a brisket. You never know what you're going to get once you get into it, or if the cow, how it tasted. So I got this on sale, $3.99 a pound. This is what it looks like. Very well trimmed. This is a part where they cut a lot of that back. And on the other side is where you're going to see your fat cap, what they call. And on this one, looks pretty darn good. So I'm not going to cut any of that off. What they call for is cutting this up 1.5 inch, 2 inch slices. Then you brine it for a couple of hours. Then you smoke it, and then you cover it in foil, and you cook it in the oven for a while. So I'm going to show you all the steps. And the first step I'm going to do, if I can spend $18 for a pound of burnt ends, if it costs me that much to make them on my own, why would I mess with it when I can buy them better? So the first thing we're going to do is I am going to weigh this on my good old scale here, and you zero that out. Pounds of burnt ends I can get when I'm all done with this. And what you're seeing is 6 pounds, 8 ounces of beef. Good. Is that what it said on the package? Okay, so I'm going to weigh that. After I brine it, we'll weigh it again. With the grain, you notice that. That's with the grain. But this is going to get it more surface area that when I'm smoking it. So that's cut up. So I got a gallon of water, half a cup of sugar, got our 2 cups of granulated salt. You see in there, that's granulated. And you keep stirring it till when you dip off the bottom, there's none left. Now, I know from last week that I can't put all the meat into that, so I have to do this brining in 2 separate vessels, which is fine. One in this one. And then you just take your meat and put it into the brine. I will admit that I don't know exactly why brine works or what the story is. I've looked a lot of things up online, and some people don't like it, some people do like it. I'm going to use it because that's what it calls for. Cover these. In the refrigerator for 2 hours. Next step is I'm about an hour and 15 minutes into my brine, and so with 45 minutes to go, I'm going to start soaking my smoking chips. Today I'm going to use a combination of apple chunks and hickory chips. I'm going to be using a Weber grill today, just a regular old Weber grill, to smoke this using the snake method, and I'll show you how I set that up. The other thing it calls for is putting a pan of water under it. Let's start getting our rub together. It's going to be a bunch of cracked pepper, some onion powder, a little bit of onion powder, a bit of garlic powder, and some other mystery spices there, and then a bunch of brown sugar. So I got about 15 minutes to go on the brine. Dump the water out, and I'm going to make up my smoked snakes is what I call them. I'll take this piece and I'll show you what I do with that. Make another one. Just like that. Take these big hunks and just kind of put them over here. Should probably show what I've got going on here. This is the smoke. This is what I call a smoked snake. Little piles. I have a big pile to start with, so I have some big heat to start with, and then it's a little smaller snake that goes around. Not all over the whole bottom. Got my 2 pans of water in there. I'll put my meat over on this side to start with, and then I'll turn the grate as I'm moving along. Just like that. Brining is done. Time to dry it off. Is it worth it to make your own burn ends? So we have to zero out this plate. We gained 2 ounces of water. Okay, that's fine. That's interesting. But really what I'm interested in is how much burn ends come back. I'm going to be into this for about $30. And I just want to know how much $30, how many pounds of burn ends does that buy me? So let's do the rub now. What a mess. That's a perfect use for these gloves. 5 cents a glove, 10 cents, clean hands. Okay, let's take these outside. And we'll take my chips that look extra. And what I'll do is the fire goes around, I will turn this grate so it doesn't get too much heat. And you notice you want the fat parts up. This is going to go for about 3 hours. So start the clock. Been on here about 2 hours or so. Should put some light on the situation. And it's about halfway through the smoking there, and the meat is doing okay. So I got another hour or so on this, and I'll be back. So it's been about 3 hours. Just starting to rain. I think it's going to be perfect. Show you one thing I do is when I'm pulling these off, I put a little bit of oil, spray oil on there, put some barbecue in the bottom of the pan. We'll bring these. Cover this with foil. I'm going to put it in the oven at 250 for 2 or 3 hours and maybe turn it up a little bit. Not sure if you can see that or not. I stuck a meat probe through the foil and into one of the pieces below it and recovered it. We're about 170 right now. I'm going to go for about 180, 185, and I'm going to put it back in and cook it till then. And it's done. Finally got a temperature of about 185 on that. And I'm just going to let it rest right there in the oven for an hour, maybe 2 hours. Okay, it's been sitting in the oven for the last hour and a half or so. What we're doing here is a test. Well, let's put the plate on. And we're going to zero it out again. Now, let's take all of our brisket. And I didn't nibble on any of this. £3 pounds, so it lost about half its weight. Not including this juices, which I'll make another, watch the other video I'm going to make about what I'm going to do with these delicious juices. For now, I'm going to put these back into that juice. Take a look at how we did. Oh yeah, so there's what she looks like. Oh yeah. Try some of the flat. Perfect. You know what? I know how to cook brisket now. Oh, that's good. That is really good. Wow. Mmm. Mmm. I'll let it sit in that juice and just soak all that up. I'll make a plate of this for myself. Where's that one piece I had? Off of this. And I think I'll just eat that whole thing. Yum, yum, yum. That just turned out great. It really did. Nice, not too dry. And the taste is just delicious. And the next day, after I put this in the refrigerator last night, flipping it several times so that the juice, and I took some of that juice and dumped it into the bag and laid this flat and flipped it several times so I could get the juice all over that. And inside is delicious, crazy delicious burnt ends. That what I'll do is just get my fork here, put them onto a plate, those two pieces, and I'll Ziploc this bag up again, sucking the air out of it because air is the enemy of all good food. Flip it over. Of course, I would recommend putting it onto a plate in case your bag leaks in your refrigerator. Put this back in the refrigerator. Here's the two delicious pieces I pulled out. And I figured that putting these in the microwave for about 45 seconds worked last time really well. Can you see and hear them still sizzling? They sure are. And I'll let those sit for about 30 seconds to a minute, just so the heat transfer around. Rested. So now it's time to slice them up and see what they look like inside. How does that look? Take a picture of that. And last night I tried these with no sauce, and these are good with no sauce, but they're even better with your favorite barbecue sauce. And I make these for about $8 to $10 a pound. It's at $3.99 for the brisket itself, raw. So is it worth it? I don't know. It's a lot of work, but they sure are good. So I'm going to have lunch. Yum, yum, yum. Somehow or another, these are better the next day. I don't know how that is, but they actually, maybe sitting overnight makes them better. Would you like a bite?